Welcome back. The Labour Minister, Xolani has addressed Transnet and transport unions at the CCMA as they try to resolve the impasse around wage negotiations. Workers affiliated to the United National Transport Union down tools last week. They're demanding a wage increase of between 12% and 13.5%. The company is offering up to a 4% increase and a once-off gratuity of 5,000 rand. Workers affiliated with ZA joined the strike today. 21,000 people now take part in that. The state-owned transport and logistics group also declaring force majeure across its ports. Well, we heard earlier from our business editor, Xolani Mbanjwa, how the strikes affected the coal industry and the iron industry. On the other side of the scale are perishable goods, which perhaps are in bigger trouble. The strike is taking place during the peak of the berry export season. Let's get some reaction now from Brent Welsh, the CEO of Berries ZA. Brent, good evening to you. What impact is this strike having on your industry?
Good evening. Thank you for having me on the show. It's for us, it's nothing short of a crisis as we head into our peak season, as you noted. We've still got about 20,000 tons of berries to get out in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and we are just hitting our straps. We've sent about 4,000 out already, and any day delay that we have is really impacting our shelf life on the receiving end, and quality issues are going to become very significant for us.
I would imagine the longer this goes on, the more money you lose.
It's significant. It really, really is. And this goes all the way through the value chain from the exporters all the way down to the growers. And I think with the increasing input costs that we've noted over the past year, from shipping costs to fertilizer, fuel, diesel, we've really had a tough year within the industry on a grower level. And for this to impact all the way back to grower because we aren't able to deliver on the produce that is ready to go out, it's going to be dramatic.
What happens to the berries then? So they get picked, I would presume under normal circumstances, they get put in a truck, maybe a cold storage truck, and taken to the port and exported almost immediately. This could all happen in one day. When there's a delay like this, what happens to them?
Cold storage is the answer, but of course any day in cold storage on this side reduces a day on the ships and a day on the shelf in the retailers in the UK and the EU, which are our main export markets. We are improving our markets through to the Middle East and East Asia, but certainly the north-south line for us is extremely important. And the cold chain really starts from the hour that it's picked. We need to get the berry down to about 10 degrees within an hour, and another 3 hours after that we have to get it down to about 1 degree, and it's got to stay there the whole way until it gets to the shelf. So we've just got to keep the berries in cold storage. And of course, this has a knock-on effect for berries that are currently being harvested. And we're going to have a cold storage crisis if we can't move containers as soon as possible.
So you have overseas markets. This is a strike which will presumably be temporary, Brent. So let's just say it lasts a week or 2 weeks or maybe a month. What happens if it goes on for too long? Could you lose markets permanently? Someone else will come and take them from you.
Absolutely. Last year we had almost a perfect storm of a variety of issues that also impacted our export markets. We went to a trade show in April this year and chatted sort of heart to heart with our retailers on the other side, and there were some concerns already from last year's exports around the delays, the consistency of arrival. When we want to do promotions in store on the other side, we really need to make sure that when we say the containers are arriving, they're going to be arriving, because it just has a knock-on effect from the retailers all the way back to us. So it's, it does have a knock-on effect in terms of our credibility, the relationship we have, the relationship our exporters have with the retailers and importers on the other side, and reputational. South Africa, fortunately, has a really good reputation in terms of quality produce that goes on the other side. So we're really riding off the back of that quality stamp and recognition. But if we don't look after this market really carefully, we're going to erode that quality expectation very quickly.
Do you welcome government trying to intervene to end the strike? We know the Minister of Labour, Xolani, was at those talks today. Do you welcome that?
Absolutely. We need to resolve this as quickly as possible. We have engaged through Agri SA, who helped in the mediation process with the CCMA. we are waiting with bated breath on the outcome of today and what's going to be happening. If there is any solution in the very near future, as I say, any day is a big day for us. But of course, we welcome any solution that can be put on the table. I think at the moment, any additional costs that Transnet are proposing to incur will in all likelihood be passed on to industry. So, look, I don't think there are going to be too many winners out of this process. It's still going to be a strain on the industry. And, of course, that pushes all the way back to the growers and, of course, the labour opportunities on the farms.
Brent Welsh, thank you. CEO of Berries ZA. Important moment for that industry at the moment.